The International Air Transport Association is in the final stages of developing a digital travel pass that they say will support the safe reopening of international borders. The online system would enable airlines to tap into a common data set of necessary testing or vaccine information for travellers. It's hoped the scheme will launch next year. Well, I can speak now to the Director General and CEO of the International Air Transport Association, Alexandre de Juniac, who joins us from Geneva. Thank you very much for speaking to us. So just explain to me this travel pass, how would it work practically?
It will be an app that you will be able to download on your smartphone, and it has two or three important set of data. First of all the requirements that states are requesting from passengers coming in, and I can tell you have thousands of them for all states all over the planet. So you are permanently updated with that. Secondly, a list of vaccine or test centers, vaccination location that you can choose and that are recognized. And thirdly, the fact that it manages all this information to be transferred from the center or the lab or wherever to the passenger, then potentially to the airline, then to the government, which could request it. So that's it's an app that will facilitate travel because it certifies that you meet the requirement that the state may issue in terms of vaccination or testing. So it's a facilitation, protection, and certification.
So this is to make it easier for international travellers to get around. Look, we're talking about going away, getting on a plane. Even just amongst Europe, that's currently really complicated. Different countries have got very different procedures, testing when you arrive, testing 5 days after you get there. What is the safest way to actually facilitate travel from one country to the other?
No, what we are advocating for is for the countries, to remove the travel restriction and particularly the quarantine measures that are a complete blocking point for air travel, and to replace that, because we understand that states want to protect the population, by a systematic testing of all passengers, either at the departure or at the arrival airport, using the new technology that has been developed by the pharmaceutical industry, particularly the antigen test, but also using PCR tests.
But this sounds very optimistic. How do you get everybody to coordinate, all of those countries to say, fine, we'll all put in place the same standard procedure for people arriving at our borders?
We do two things. First of all, we are working within the International Civil Aviation Organization, which is in Montreal, and which is specialized in aerospace. We have done a complete work with them. They have issued guidelines, recommendation, even a manual for testing. So the framework is ready. The regulatory framework or the recommendation are ready, first of all. And secondly, we are advocating government after government to implement, the same system of testing. It's a big work, but we did the same, if you remember, by the end of May, to convince government to adopt what we have called the biosafety measures. The fact that you have a mandatory wearing of masks, temperature control, health form, disinfection or cleaning of aircraft. And it has been adopted by 280 countries and territories. Believe it or not, so almost everything. And they have adopted something which is pretty similar to and homogeneous and to what we were recommending.
And so you're trying to engineer something like that again. Umbrella. I'm sorry for time, we have to leave it there, but thank you very much for speaking to us about this idea of the travel pass. Director General and CEO of the International Air Transport Association, Alexandre de Juniac. Appreciate it.